Thanks for tuning in. Today I want to share some items that I can't live without. These are some things that definitely make my life a lot easier. I wish I had known about them sooner. A lot of these I've been using for years, and they're not really items that we always talk about. You know, we always talk about a lot of the clothes that we wear, the things that we buy, how we accessorize and things like that. But these are items that I definitely think help with your overall presentation, styling, as well as personal hygiene. So I thought these would be helpful to share. And then at the end, I'm going to slip in a quick unboxing of these items. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen that I picked up a cute heart-shaped box. So it's nothing major, so I thought I would just slip it in at the end of this video. The first item I want to talk about are sheers or tights. These are hosiery basically, and especially because it's winter time in New York City, I have to wear a lot of. And towards the end of last year, I found out about this brand called Sheertex. They make what they call like indestructible tights. I was very intrigued, especially because I would get very annoyed every time I make a run in my tights. Especially in the winter time, I would cycle through a lot of tights. So I decided to give these tights a try. I think it was around Black Friday when they had like a big sale. That's when I was first contemplating getting them. I actually didn't. And so sometime in December, I picked them up, and they come in this container like this, which is really cute. And you'll see they are like rolled up inside. Along with this container, they come with some additional items. So they have a whole bunch of stickers, which are really cute. And then there's what they call like a test kit. This says "Rip Me" on it. There's like a little sample piece in there for you to try. It's like a test piece that you can, you know, stretch. You can see like my nails are pulling through it, and it's not ripping, it's not running, and you can like do whatever you want with this test piece here. They are really, really, really strong. I am really impressed with these. I tried them out, and I first got them in this nude color. This was some feedback that I shared with them after I received the item, but they won't accept returns of opened items basically for sanitary purposes. And I can completely respect that as well. You don't necessarily want to get like returned hosiery, right? So I understand that. My only issue was with the nude shades. So they have a light, medium, dark, I believe, when it comes to like more nude tones. And then they have black, charcoal, navy, and then they have some that have patterns. I was debating between the light and the medium, and based on the photos that were available, I had to make some kind of decision, right? And there's basically one photo per color. So there's one model who's wearing the light, there's one model who's wearing a medium, and there's one model who wears a dark, and then a different model who wears any of the other colors. I just had to make the best guess based on those photos. And the reason why I was debating between the light and the medium is because, you know, when sometimes you get really light tights, it almost washes out your legs even more. I didn't want that happening. So that's sometimes why when I get nude tights, I look for slightly darker, like a medium shade nude, so that it gives nice color to my legs rather than completely like making them pasty. So that's why I went with the medium. When you look at them here and with this lighting, it doesn't look too bad, but they're definitely a little too dark for me. And they also have this interesting kind of orange tint to them. So I just like felt like I was like, they're comfortable, they're definitely comfortable. I just felt like I was looking like a Oompa Loompa over here, like in my legs, just because they weren't the right shade. They weren't the right tone for me, and it wasn't easy for me to like make a choice based off of the information that was all like readily available online. So I just shared that feedback with them. I know like they're figuring their stuff out. It's not like they've been in business for like millions of years. So I get it. I just shared the feedback that I was a little bit disappointed in the nude shade range, just because, not that it didn't match me, but because I didn't feel like I had enough information based on the photos online for me to make a better choice. Like, you could have multiple models. Let's say you have 4 models of different ethnicities, and they all wear the light, and they all wear the medium, and they all wear the dark, right? So let's say you identify closer to one of those 4 models. You can see what each shade looks like on that person. and you can figure out, okay, like actually the light one doesn't wash that person out as much as I thought, so the light is a better color, or you know, the medium looks like a better tone for what I'm looking for. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, they had all of the resources available. They had multiple models. They had them all wear different color tights, so you could just have the same person wear all of them, right? Like, so you see the full shade range against that one skin tone. I shared that feedback, and they actually gave me a call, which I could not pick up because I was in the meeting, but they left a voicemail as well saying that they were terribly sorry to hear that I was a little bit disappointed. They were going to take that feedback into account as they, you know, refine their product lines and things like that. And they offered to give me some store credit to get another pair. And so that's why I have this one. That's why you saw that it was black. I decided to get a black pair instead of trying to get the light and see if the light would work out. I just decided I'm going to get a black pair. The other thing I did when I purchased this one is I actually sized down. I looked at the size chart, and it's based off of your height. They have like a short, regular, and tall length, and then they have your size based on your weight. So I got one size based on that chart. So I got a bigger size here. I felt like they were a little bit big. They were very comfortable, but I felt like they were a little big to the point where they felt like they were coming down a little bit. So I sized down on these, and I will let you know if I think this is a better size. I went on rambling about tights. I used to think of them as like a necessary evil, you know what I mean? Like, you sometimes for certain outfits, you just have to wear them, and then you just have to deal with the fact that they like cut you in, they're like suffocating sometimes, they're really annoying to like pull on and off, and then you're likely going to ruin them after the first time you wear them anyway. I like this brand so far. I liked how these like felt, you know what I mean? They are pretty hard wearing compared to just your standard tights. And I appreciate that they, you know, take in feedback and they're willing to work with their customer base as they refine their product, and just thought it was worth a shout out. The next item I wanted to share is actually a steamer, which some of you might be like, oh my gosh, like, what do you mean? That's not a recent invention, and why is that something that makes this list? It's a relatively new tool that I have introduced into my life, and I used to have a really old steamer that was compact, and I felt like it was decent, but it never really felt like it was doing a good job, which is probably why I didn't use it very often. But I used it when I had certain blouses or like more flowy things that I wanted to quickly get some of the wrinkles out. And then I'm also a terrible ironer. I'm horrible at it, so I try to buy clothes that don't require that kind of ironing or crease management, okay? The old steamer that I had eventually died, so I had to get a new one. I also like live in a small apartment, so I didn't want to get one of those large ones that take up a lot of room. So I was looking for one that's relatively portable and small but powerful, and I came across this item. It's highly rated on Amazon. I really like it. It blows the other one out of the water, like that I used to use that was like only okay. This one, once you push the button, as long as you push the button, it has a continuous stream of steam come out, unlike the old one where I had to like keep like pushing it, and then it would just like sputter out some steam every time I pushed it. This is like continuous, like you can just roll along your clothes and it will steam the whole time. It is really powerful. I do use distilled water in this just because I don't want that mineral buildup stuff happening. That might not necessarily be a problem depending on where you live. But this has definitely been a game changer for me. I like that it's really small. It helps me just quickly steam out my clothes right before I'm heading out. I also like that it has a metal plate here instead of it being like plastic or something else, because this I feel like this makes the steam kind of glide between the steamer and the clothes like much better, and it like the wrinkles seem to come out a lot faster. If you're in the market for a new steamer, I highly recommend this one. I will have links for all of these items down in the description box, so you should check them out there. The next item I want to share is this Colonel, I think that's how you pronounce it, Colonel Carbon Pro spray. This is a protective spray for all types of leather, and I think it's really all types of surfaces. It says all materials, but I definitely use these for my suede boots to protect those. I mean, you could use it on your bags as well if you want to protect it against color transfer, if you're concerned about that. But I mostly use these on my shoes just because walking around in New York City, they can get pretty scruffed up in general. So I sprayed these on my white Givenchy boots. I sprayed these on my Stuart Weitzman suede boots, and it works like really well. My white boots have like very minimal scuffing on them, like dirt on them. This isn't like a spray. It's like so thick that it feels like it adds an extra layer onto your items. Like the suede, you can still feel that it's suede. You can still enjoy the suede texture, but this adds additional protection against natural weathers. I'm not sure if it's 100% waterproof. I haven't sprayed it enough to really test for that, and that's not exactly what I'm looking for, so that's not what I tried to use it for. But I am pretty sure that it can be like almost waterproof if you really wanted to. You just would apply multiple thin layers of it, allowing it to dry a little bit in between. I don't care too much for the smell, so I recommend that you do it outside instead of indoors, because otherwise you'll be stuck smelling this for a while. So this is another item that helps with like the styling of your items and maintaining them so that they look good and stay clean longer. This next item might be a little funny. Maybe it's something we all don't really want to talk about, but this is a all-natural shoe deodorizer, and it's from a brand called Lumi Outdoors. This one in particular is like a lemongrass, mint, and tea tree scent. I know they have a few other scents, and I really like this. I know deodorizing shoes might not be something that we all want to talk about, but I think it's helpful. Certain shoes that I wear a lot, not to be like TMI, but have a tendency to get stinky. I'll just put it that way. I use this on like fabric and leather shoes. I just do 1 or 2 sprays on the inside. The scent is pretty strong, so I do it away from where I sleep. I'll do it on one side of the apartment, and I'll leave it there overnight, and by the time the morning comes, the scent is not overpowering. It just is immediately when you dispense it the first time. But it zaps the smell, it leaves a little bit of a minty smell afterwards, and for some fabric shoes, like I was concerned this might stain the actual shoe or the bottom of the shoe. It initially does darken a little bit. It looks like something has been like sprayed there and there's like a round concentration, but once you wear your shoes again, it will dissipate, so it hasn't stained any of my shoes. But it is helpful to have. I do like to occasionally like run through all my shoes and just like spritz in there to help freshen them up. So those are all of like the fashion and styling related items. So I'm going to shift a little bit to some more beauty or personal hygiene related items. These are all items that I know I will continue to repurchase. I either have for many years, or I have already started doing that now. The first item I wanted to talk about was this. It's called Remove and Chill. It is a nail polish remover. This is the new one that I purchased, but I'll show you the old one, or the one that's getting used up. This is what it looks like. It's in this kind of a hand cream tube almost. I haven't been able to find this anywhere else except for Ulta, so that's where I purchased it from. It is, I mean, it is like revolutionary to me because I love painting my nails. I really dislike the process of removing the nail polish at the end. I'm not a fan. That's always my least favorite part of getting nails done. I don't like the smell of the acetone that's in the liquid nail polish removers. And then I've previously tried those like spongy thingies that are supposed to take them off, and they like never worked. So I used to just dread having to take off my nail polish. So I randomly like saw this somewhere, and I was just like, oh my god, that seems like a really great product to try, and it is. Let me tell you, just like, please, if there's nothing else that you get from here, please just try to buy one of these. Like, I promise that like the experience of taking your nail polish off is like going to completely change. So it looks like hand cream. It's like a little white cream on the inside, and it also has a pretty pleasant smell. It doesn't smell like acetone. It has slight floral scent, and it feels like you're putting on lotion. And what you're supposed to do, or what I do, is I dispense a little bit on each nail, and then I use one of my fingers to kind of distribute it all across the nail. And you're supposed to leave it on your nail 1 minute for every layer of nail polish you have. So usually I wait about 3 to 5 minutes before I start removing them. I just take a cotton bud and then I start working my way like this, and then it just like sloughs off. I feel like it ends up being a little bit messier than when you use liquid nail polish remover, because that you dispense on the cotton pad and then you just kind of like rub it off and it comes off. This one, because there is that layer of lotion, if you will, there's some excess on your cotton pad that can kind of get around your finger. So sometimes it feels a little bit messier, but the end result I enjoy so much more. My hands are not significantly dried out. There's no like, there's no acetone getting into like all these like nooks and crannies of my fingers. I feel like it does help make your nails a little bit stronger because it isn't stripping them of all of the moisture that it has, and instead it's trying to nourish them as they remove. So this is my like favorite nail polish remover. I really rarely go back to using the liquid acetone type. I do have some handy because I reserve that for like glitter nail polish. Hardcore glitter nail polish, this isn't enough, but for standard color, even pearlescent nail polishes, this works just fine. It's that really like that gritty glitter nail polish that this struggles with, so I'll have a little bit of that acetone handy for when I need to take off those hardcore nail polishes. But otherwise, this is the way to go. That's why as I started to see this was coming to an end, I went ahead and I bought another one. Now you might think this is also really small, like, oh, you'll use it like 3 times and it'll be done. I don't find that to be the case. I've had this since, I want to say since last summer, and I'm still using the first 2. So I wouldn't necessarily dismiss this as being too little. So please check this out. The next item I want to talk about is a lash enhancing serum that I have been using for probably about 5 years now. Not the same tube, but I've been repurchasing this time and time again for 5 years or so. And it is the New Lash Lash Enhancing Serum. This is the only lash enhancing serum that I have tried and used. I am very, very satisfied with the results, which is why I haven't tried any of the other lash enhancing serums. For me, one of the bigger things that I was looking for was whether it would work on my Asian lashes. My lashes were on the short side, but they were also quite stiff, if you will. They were just like short, stumpy, stubborn, short lashes. You know, I would see advertisements for a lot of different lash enhancing serums that I just didn't know if they would work on like my eyelashes, my type of eyelashes. So I hadn't been that prone to trying them. I think a long time ago, like several years ago, I might have seen like Hey Claire use this, and she seemed to be seeing some good results, and that's why I decided to give it a try. And I love it. It doesn't take very long for you to see results. I feel like it's like less than a month of continual, like consistent usage, and you'll start seeing results. What I like about it is it helps like fill out my lash line. So not only do they make them all a bit longer and more pronounced, but it's also like, so if you have like your lashes come out here, it'll like help make sure that there are lashes in between here as well. So it's not like you have like 4 long eyelashes, but it's like pretty full across the board. I use this, and my mom also uses this, my aunt uses this. I have gifted this to my friends as well, and a lot of people have told me that they also see results. My mom is a repurchaser as well. When I buy a new one, I get another one for her and I give it to her. My aunt is a repurchaser as well. So like it's one of those items that I tried it, I really liked it, and I wanted everybody who felt like they were suffering from short stubby Asian lashes to like be able to rejoice, because there's something that can help, and I just wanted everyone else to know as well. So if you have been looking for a lash enhancing serum and you didn't know which one to try, I would recommend this one. It has worked well for me, but please also understand that individual results may vary. It depends on your lashes as well, and there can be some side effects. So you should look into whether you're comfortable trying it out, bearing those risks in mind, or whether you would want to go a different route. For me, there has been a little bit of like darkening of my eyelid, a little bit, not even my eyelid, it's just like around my lash line area where I apply this. It doesn't stand out like it's a problem or an issue. It doesn't look like it's wrong. It's not that dramatic or anything. And I tend to wear eyeliner anyway, so that's something that hasn't particularly bothered me personally, but something to keep in mind. We are down to the last couple of items, and these are both related to oral hygiene, which I think might seem strange to come from me, and I understand, but I have really sensitive teeth, which is why I have not gone to a dentist to get professional teeth whitening. I don't think my teeth would react very well to it, and I think the sensitivity of them will be at an uncomfortable level. Looking to see what I could do for a more natural teeth whitening, and that's where I came across this toothpaste. It is the Fine Vine Organics activated coconut charcoal toothpaste. There are a lot of things that it doesn't have. It is a charcoal toothpaste, which means it's black. This is already my third tube of it. I really think it helps. I really think it does help brighten. I wouldn't necessarily expect it to be like professional whitening levels. I think that's not a realistic expectation to have, but it does, I think, overall brighten your smile. And I feel better about it because it is more natural than not. I'm not a huge fan of coconut flavored things, and I'm just not, I don't jive with that taste. So I was a little bit concerned that it might be like coconutty, but it's not. I prefer the peppermint flavor because I don't like spearmint. I much prefer peppermint, so that's the one that I have been purchasing, but I know there are those two flavors. And because it is a black toothpaste, it will make your sink a little bit dirtier. Like you will see like black specks when you wash and things. So that's just one consideration, but that's something I'm willing to work with when it gives such optimal results. This is the last item. This is the Dentec Aura Brush Tongue Cleaner. I know nobody really wants to talk about like stinky bad breath, but your tongue has a lot to do with it as well. This is something that I have used for, I want to say close to 10 years. I'm not even kidding. I think I found out about it when it was just invented and just launched, when it wasn't that well known. Now you can buy packs of these at like Amazon. It's like so much easier. These are a game changer. Like once you start using this, I used to just like clean my tongue with my toothbrush, right? Like what else would you use? You have a toothbrush, so why wouldn't you just use that? This is like next level cleaning of your tongue. If you want that kind of clean feeling where like you feel like there's like everything has been like taken care of after you brush your teeth, I highly recommend this. This is another one of those items like my mom uses, my aunt uses, like a lot of people, my boyfriend uses it now, like everybody, like I've told them about it and or have gifted it to them because I'm like, this is something that not everybody talks about, okay? We don't, in everyday conversation, I don't know the last time you ever, just talked about general stinky bad breath with your friends, you know what I mean? So this is something that I have shared like with the rest of my family and friends as something that's really helpful. So I hope if you're interested, you should check it out. I think it would be really helpful for you as well. And then before we end off this video, I will share what's been sitting in this bag here. It's nothing too crazy. But because it was Valentine's Day, there were some cute things that came out at Hermes and I wanted to get my hands on them. So there are two little boxes in the bag. This one is actually from my boyfriend. He went into Hermes and was really dedicated on trying to get a heart box for me, and they ran out of heart boxes, but this is what he picked up for me. I think in February or around this time, Hermes like comes out with a whole bunch of Valentine's themed stuff. And so this year they had Twillies made in their Jungle Love print because one side has all of the hearts on it. I believe this came out in a lot of different colorways, So he picked the hot pink one, which is really, really cute. I really like this print. This is also the same print, not the heart version, but the Jungle Love print twillies are the same ones that I got for my Birkin. It's just in a blue colorway. And that was technically the rainbow Jungle Love. I know all the different variations, but anyway, I really, really like this print. I think it's because it has like a little bit of animal print. It has like really pretty flowers on it, and it's just like fun all over. This kind of print allows you to have a very interesting look when you wrap your handles around it. So this is the new twilly. I sometimes get some questions on like how I use my twillies. So if you're interested in seeing that kind of video, let me know and I can film one of those for you. So that was in the regular box. They actually apparently had run out of heart-shaped boxes. So my boyfriend was very sad that he had to give it in a regular box for me, but that was totally fine. And then I was just perusing the Hermes website and I saw this item, which I thought was very interesting. I went down to the Broad Street location to check it out mostly. I'd never been there before and I wanted to see like what the vibes were there. And they actually had it. They had one. And the SA who was helping me was very lovely. She was like, that was the first time I had a pleasant experience in a New York City Hermes boutique. So I think that's the place that I would go to. They did have one. She said that these were relatively new and they're intended, well, I'll show you first. So it looks like this. Isn't it so adorable? It is a heart-shaped pocket square. This is technically called a pocket square and it's so cute. It's in like this little heart shape. It can be, of course, an item that's put into your pocket. So you on the website, they have it like in your pocket like this, where it comes up like that, which is really, really adorable. And then the essay in the boutique was explaining that these are also intended to be used to customize your larger scarves. So if you had like a 90 centimeter square silk scarf, you could kind of like patchwork, you could put these on the scarf to, you know, jazz it up and kind of personalize it to yourself. So online they only really had this print, but in store they had the Jungle Love print again in this heart shape, and then they had one that was like a dessert shop silk scarf motif that was cut out into this heart shape. So I just thought it was super adorable, to be honest. I'm going to see the different ways that I can style it. I will look into, you know, putting them into like jacket pockets or blazer pockets as like little pops of color. And then I don't think I will necessarily put them on my larger silk scarves just because that's not how I intended to wear them. At least it's just super cute. So that's really why I got it. It was super, super cute. I'm going to challenge myself to see the different ways that I can style it, and I will keep you all posted how that goes. I would definitely check out my Instagram because I'll probably have better shots there. All right, it looks like the sun decided it wanted to peek out at the end of my video. I hope you found all of these items or tips helpful. If you have any other items that you feel like you absolutely cannot live without, they are total game changers and they make your life a lot easier, I would love to hear what they are. So please let me know down below in the comments. I know some of these items were not necessarily things that I typically talk about, so I hope you didn't mind that kind of change. You know, there are always a lot of tips that we can learn from each other. I thought this would be a great opportunity to share some of the things that I really like to use and have already shared with my friends and family, and also open up the dialogue so you can share as well. If you have any questions on anything at all, feel free to leave them down below or head on over to Instagram and I'd be happy to help however I can. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate all your feedback and support. If you like this kind of content and you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every Sunday. So until next time, bye!